What's up, guys? Welcome to Knockers on the Bottom. I'm your host, Jay Mill. Jay Mill, if you like. So, I'm not dead. Don't worry. You just heard some shit drop. But let's get into it. So, the Cowboys hire Clayton Adams today. So, they're kind of starting to round out their staff. You got Matt Eberflus as the defensive coordinator. You've got, Lunda Wells back as your tight ends coach. You have Sorensen, as we talked about, from the 49ers. He was their defensive coordinator. Now he's the special teams coach. And you have Clayton Adams, in addition, as the offensive coordinator. So now, just to step back, take a little 40-foot view, because I know the last episode I recorded, I kind of ranted a little bit about how stupid the Joneses are acting, and I still think that's pretty true. But I also think there seems to be a little bit, because they signed Will McClay to a multi-year deal and gave him a bunch of extra money. There seems to be a sprinkle here, some seasoning from the black man, Will McClay. And he's over here all of a sudden, he let us know with a little bit of insight that for the first time ever since he's been here at, the Dallas Cowboys, kind of helping stabilize things through the draft, he actually got to be in on the coaching hirings. And that doesn't just mean the head coaching hirings. That means all these coordinators. So it's interesting to see that Will McClay now is starting to get just a little bit more power within the organization. Dare I say, maybe kind of getting a little bit of a GM type of thing going on. There just has been some, for example, just to give my opinion, because I know I usually try to stay straight down the middle when I'm talking to you guys, but I love the hire of Adam Clayton. I like the hiring of Matt Eberflus. I love the hiring of the special teams coordinator. I love Linda Wells as a head coach. So if you're just thinking overall, like the staff that's being put together here, I really like it. I really like it. And if we're going to give the Cowboys crap, because I am going to give the Cowboys crap whenever they do crap, because that's just what I do. I'm going to be honest. I'm a straight shooter. I'm going to tell you the truth. But the other part about it is also when they do something good, kind of got to give them some credit on that too, right? We can't have it both ways. So I think the Cowboys have assembled here, because, I remember talking to you guys, not the last one I went on, but a few episodes before when, the news broke that they hired Brian Schottenheimer. I think it was that Friday. I came on, I did an episode, talked about it, them hiring Brian Schottenheimer, and I kind of I actually said this pretty frankly, hey, if they start putting together a really solid staff, then we'll have to kind of, take a look at this a little bit more, right? Because just on the outside looking in, just hiring Brian Schottenheimer is like, what the hell are you guys doing? But then you put some of these different guys around. For example, excuse me, Matt Eberflus was here under Rob Marinelli, right? And as many problems as the Cowboys had under Rob Marinelli, they never had a problem with effort. They never had a problem with hustle. And they never had a problem with making sure that they were rallying to the ball. Around that time, the Cowboys, some of their defenses were pretty bad. I remember specifically 2016 being a defense that turned teams over a lot, but really wasn't necessarily awesome in the yards department or anything like that. I remember the 2014 team also being a very similar way. They turned a lot of people over, but they weren't really good at anything else. But the reason why they turned people over was because Rob Marinelli had everybody playing fast, running to the football. Very similar to the way Dan Quinn coached the Cowboys. So Matt Eberflus is like a disciple of that type of defense, right? A lot of Tampa 2, a lot of cover 2, a lot of shell coverage, a lot of 2 deep safety. Basically what you see from a lot of teams in the NFL right now. He likes to get after the quarterback with 4 and drop 7 in the coverage. He loves to play a lot of nickel. If this sounds familiar to you, it sounds like Dan Quinn. It's because it's a defense with the same principles. You mix in some cover 3 with that cover 2. You mix in some quarters with, cover 4 coverage, and basically you have a Dan Quinn defense, right? So for those of us looking to say, hey, we're trying to find the positives in this situation, and we're trying to see how the Cowboys can turn this around quickly to bring themselves to a playoff spot, right? Because none of us want to sit here and be in the same situation that we were again. Okay, so you add a defense, right, that has a lot of the same principles of the defense you had a lot of success with over the last few years. Now, Matt Eberflus, if we hired him as a head coach, I'd be freaking out the freaking door. You know what I'm saying? Because he was terrible at clock management. He didn't develop the quarterback over there, even though it was only 1 year, so that's a little bit different. But, hey, he had years before that, and Justin Fields was a better player than more people were giving him credit for. He's still a better player than most people were giving him credit for. I don't understand what everybody has a problem with Justin Fields, but they gave up on that experiment because they got a chance to get Caleb Williams because of their trades. I believe it was with the Carolina Panthers. So, hey, you got to take the generational guy, right? But he couldn't get the best out of him, wasn't good at clock management. But if you look at the other side of that team, that defense was phenomenal, man. They were pretty good. They did good a lot of times at turning the ball over. I remember watching a game where Caleb Williams and the Bears were down like at the half, like 17-3 or something, and they ended up winning the game, and they came back with 20 points in the second half against the other team, and 17 of those 20 points were basically caused by the defense. There was a pick 6 for a touchdown, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and then a strip sack fumble that was recovered, and then the Bears converted a field goal on that point, and they ended up winning the game. And it basically was the entire defense. And Eberflus is the guy who was calling defensive plays. So, and then you go back to his years in Indianapolis, similar type deal. Eberflus left the Dallas Cowboys, right? So he was under Rod Marinelli. He was a linebackers coach. There was some thought that Marinelli would hang it up in the next couple of years. And the Cowboys are like, this Eberflus dude, man, we really got something here, and we kind of want to make him a defensive coordinator successor. We like what Rod's doing. But before Rod could even retire, he got a chance, he got an offer to go to Indianapolis as a defensive coordinator. He took it, and then when he went there, he kicked butt as a defensive coordinator, and that's how he got his head coaching job with the Chicago Bears. Now, Clayton Adams, our new hire today, was also on the Indianapolis Colts staff when Jonathan Taylor had his beast of a run game to make himself basically one of the top paid and top regarded running backs in the league. Now, you take him, you bring him to the Arizona Cardinals, and all he does is he has freaking John Connor over there just wrecking shop. You know what I'm saying? John Connor is over there just, I use him in daily fantasy all the time because you can guarantee that he's going to have a lot of touchdowns, a lot of yards. He's got some speed in the open field, good back. So he's the coordinator over there, and he wasn't the running game coordinator specifically, but he was the offensive line coordinator, and he had some duties in a running game. And when you take a look at Arizona's running game, very, very, very versatile. The highest scheme that I heard the statistic on recently is 23%, right? 23% zone run. That's the highest. And the lowest is 2%. But in between there's a whole lot of 18%, 16%, 19%, 21%, all equaling up to 100%, which tells you he has a very, very versatile and not intuitive, I'm missing the word that I'm looking for, but basically the running game is to the point where you can't just key in on one thing. If we're game planning for this week and we're saying, hey guys, these guys like to run this scheme, this concept, so these are our keys, these are our things that we see, and these are the things we need to stop. We might have a little bit of variables mixed in there, things that we're not looking for, unscouted looks, things that they game plan for specifically to catch us off guard, but for the most part, when it comes down to the nitty gritty, they have these things that they love to do, their base concepts, the things that they're going to run, and these are the things that we know when it's late in the game and it's a gotta have it. This is what they're going to go to, and this is where we're going to stop. With him, there's so much variation. That's the word I was looking for. There's so much variation in the scheme that it's hard to key in. It's hard to key in. And if there's anything that the Cowboys could use, it's variation in the scheme. So just, I kind of want to, I guess I got to circle back to the whole Will McClay thing. Maybe I give him a lot of this credit. I really don't want to give the Joneses most of this credit, but this is only step one, right? So we got some things going on. We had the East-West Shrine game last night, which was pretty cool. I ended up watching that. That was nice. We have the Senior Bowl going on, I believe, this weekend, so that'll be a good thing to see. Then we got the Super Bowl next week, and then we're going to have the Scouting Combine. And then after the Scouting Combine, we'll start to have a little bit of an idea of where these guys are going to start to shake out, and that's when we'll start our draft series here. Probably a little bit before the Combine, because we're going to want to talk about some prospects just in case your boys got some good knowledge on certain people, and you know what I'm saying, I want to make it known before we get there so I can give them my credit. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can follow me on Twitter at JMillerIYL. That's JMiller if you like. You can also hit me up at knockersonthebottom@outlook.com. Again, knockersonthebottom@outlook.com. You can hit me knockersonthebottom@gmail.com. You can leave questions below, comments. If there's anything specific that you want me to cover, I'll take it here. I'll take it via email. I'll take it via Twitter. Roll it into a mailbag, make it a formal segment. We're at 54 subscribers, so keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, because when we get to 100, we're going to do another giveaway. So keep it coming in, keep hitting the buttons, keep hitting the likes, keep hitting the subscribes. But I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, I'm your host, J Mill if you like. This has been Knockers on the Bottom. Peace.